Hi friends, develop success from failure. Despair and failure are two of the surest stepping stones to success. To understand the concept of viscosity, we will practice through the following problem. A safe on a wooden board slides on an oiled floor. We are asked to calculate how much the safe's movement slows down. This problem is quite simple, and all the data is available on the problem sheet. We only need to guess the formula that we have known before. Maybe you forgot. Let's review the formula for viscosity. A plate is on top of a layer of fluid. When viewed from the front, the long side of the board is on the x-axis, and the vertical axis is the y-axis. When the board is pushed to the right, or in line with the x-axis, the fluid layer will experience shear stress. The direction of the pushing force is towards the positive x-axis, but the normal direction of the surface area of the board is towards the positive y-axis. The shear stress acting on the fluid layer can be written as tau yx. Remember, the first subscript is the normal direction of the surface, the second subscript is the direction of the force acting. Tau xy is equal to mu du dy. U is the equation of the velocity profile of each fluid layer in the x direction. This is a simple equation that we are familiar with. Let's go to the discussion sheet. On the question sheet, the length of the board, the width of the board, the thickness of the oil layer, the viscosity of the oil, and the weight of the safe are written. We will process these values to get the deceleration of the safe. First of all, we must know the shape of the velocity profile of the fluid layer. We don't know the shape of this profile. What if we assume that the fluid velocity profile is linear? What does that mean? The displacement of the fluid layer will form a curve like a straight line. The bottom layer of fluid is not moving, and the top layer of fluid moves at a speed of v. This v is the speed written on the question sheet. Maybe you don't know. To get the equation of a straight line, we need two different points. Just choose two endpoints. Point 1 is at coordinates 0, 0. Point 2 is at coordinates hv. U minus 0 over v minus 0 is the same as y minus 0 over h minus 0. We can simplify this equation. U is equal to v over h, y. Each layer of fluid will move at a velocity u to the right. The magnitude of the velocity changes linearly from the bottom layer to the top layer. Now we will apply the concept of viscosity. Tau yx is equal to mu du dy. Just plug in the velocity profile u there. This is an easy calculation. The magnitude of the shear stress is mu v over h. If you still remember, stress is the pressure acting on an area. For tau yx, the force F acts on the fluid to the right. The safe slides to the right. So this F is not an external force pushing the safe to the right. Throughout the movement, there is no external force pushing the safe. The safe moves by itself with an initial velocity of v. When the safe slides at a velocity of v, then we know that a force has acted on the fluid layer. The magnitude of this force is F equal to tau yx multiplied by the area of the bottom of the board that touches the oil. The force F seems to push the oil layer to the right. In response, the surface of the oil will push the board in the opposite direction, namely to the left. The safe moves to the right, but the direction of F acts on the board to the left. Of course, the safe will move slower. The safe will stop moving after reaching a certain point. In this process we can apply Newton's law. The resultant force is equal to the mass of the safe multiplied by the acceleration of the safe. The mass of the safe is the weight of the safe divided by the acceleration of gravity. For the resultant force, there is only a force to the left. The area of the board is the length of the board multiplied by the width of the board. Simplify this equation. This is the equation for the acceleration of the safe. It seems that all the values have been written on the question sheet. Of course, we have to adjust the units of each quantity. If I'm not mistaken, A is about minus 1.92 meters per second squared. The negative sign indicates that the acceleration is to the left, or the safe is moving slower. Happy learning, everyone.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray.